Hello and welcome back, friends. If you're new around here, I'm Big Gator. If you came looking for the sharpest tennis bets, you're right where you belong. Right now, we are covering ATP Shanghai, the Masters. Made it to the second day of round 2, so get in the comments, let me see what you're playing, and keep your eyes peeled for the pin comment if you like to follow along and bet with me. If you do like the breakdowns of these matches, please give this video a like. It goes a long way. Thank you for those that do. If you would like to get my picks as soon as I upload, just go to the pin comment and play it and get the fuck out of here if you'd like. Subscribe. It's the fastest way to do so. Turn notifications on as well if that's what you prefer. We are almost at 600 subs. It would be nice to get to 600. Let's get there. Please. I love you all. What's left? Oh yeah, if you're feeling generous at all, there's a link in the pinned comment if you'd like to donate, as well as a link to my free Discord where we have more plays, more picks, talk tennis all day. So get involved. With that being said, what are we looking like for today? Going back to check on how we did in our first ticket from 2 videos ago, we cashed Leonard Tien getting us a set and the money line. So cash that 3-leg, even though we had a void from Terrence Ottman and the certified smoke. Thank you, Leonard Tien. You've done it again for us. Next, we had Yannick Hoffman to win a set against Francis Tiafoe. He ended up taking the last 2 out of the 3 that took place, which seems like Tiafoe fashion nowadays, right? And then we have... Oh, we got the set, by the way. Yay. Then we have Ben Shelton going against David Goffin. And damn, the freak is back. Because what the fuck? I had to go to sleep. I got off really late last night, and I was totally gassed. I was super spent, couldn't watch the match. I watched like the first 3 points and like passed out. And then woke up in the middle of the night and I was like, oh no. So maybe it's the first match back for Ben, and that's just all it was. He ran into a now in form Goffin, so definitely should be on the lookout for that. There goes the future though. Just as fast as we had it, it's gone. So definitely look forward to playing Yannick at this point in time, but we'll get that out the way. I know that was a long recap, but yeah, just wanted to make sure it was 2 days worth of recap. So anyway, with no further ado, let's continue on with Shanghai, and our first match is going to be Camilo Ugo Carabelli going against Alex de Minaur, the Demon. And this is going to be their first head-to-head. Yes, it will be. But as we know about Ugo Carabelli, he is a clay player, Argentinian. So most of those guys be playing on the clay pretty well. He's ranked 45, at a career high of 43 2 weeks ago. So climbing. Probably going to stop here, though. We have de Minaur, who is currently ranked 7, was 6 about a day ago. Oh, yeah, he dropped rank today. It's crazy. He'll be looking to fix that, I'm sure. Well, he will be able to do so now, being as though Ben lost in the first round of the Masters. So he's going to be dropping rank and probably going back to 6th very soon. And let's see. de Minaur just came off a loss in Beijing in the semifinals against Sinner, but he did take a set off of him, which means he is slowly chipping away. Carabelli didn't even have to play against Terrence Ottman. He kind of got lucky there, but he was going to lose to Ottman, in my opinion, and he's going to lose here. So, minus 2,500. I can see him. I would take the spread here. Oh, Jesus, 6.5. It's a little crazy. Just because Alejandro Davidovich Fokina fucked him up that badly, I don't know if de Minaur is going to do that. 5 and 3, that's 8 games. Okay. So this is what I would say. I would take the 5.5. That's minus 210. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right, so we'll definitely deal with that. Next match, we'll go through these a bit fast today. Next match we have Felix Auger-Aliassime going against Alejandro Tabilo. And we haven't seen Felix since his one set off of Sinner in the U.S. Open in the semis. So it's been some time. What do we think about that? Like, what do we got? Tabilo got rid of Giron in straight sets. So, Felix, let's see his history with lefties. Let me go down the list real quick just to see his season so far. See if there's anyone I can catch that he's played lefties recently. Juan Manuel Cerundolo on the clay in Madrid, and he lost in straights. That's the only one recently. So let's see how it is. Only one match this season, yeah. He's only played against one lefty. Whew. Tabilo is a lefty in good form right now, bruh. Am I fried? If I take Tabilo for a set here? Let's see his career against lefties. Historically he's pretty good against them. He's 43-29. As of this year, he's 0-1. Last year he went 7-3. The year before he went 2-1. He's always had a positive record against them, except for this year. So, damn, yeah, he plays well against lefties. But it's been some time since he's played against one, so maybe he's a bit rusty, right? Like, he was in a bit of a swing of playing against them, which would help a lot, right? Like, you're used to, like, that angle, you going against that angle. The last time he had to play against somebody with a lefty angle was April of this year. He did play against Nishioka last season in Tokyo, and he was able to nab a set off of him. But he also was able to beat Jack Drapers in the finals and the Davis Cup. So, but Jack Draper took a set off of him and beat him in the Cincinnati Masters. So, weird stuff. Okay, the Paris Olympics. Yeah, he beat Maximilian Martiru, some guy who's ranked 116. So, at the time, I like Tabilo for a set. He's 22-9. Felix is this season. Tabilo is 18-21. So four wins and 2 losses. Win percentage is the exact. Actually, fried. Tabilo plays better on the hard court now by 0.02%. I'm taking him for a set. Next match we have is going to be Brandon Nakashima going against Kamil Majchrzak. And looks like Kamil is just fine. Beat Ethan Quinn in straights. Was kind of expecting it, but wasn't really sure if we could depend on the form. Then we have Nakashima, lost to Alcaraz in Tokyo most recently in the quarterfinals, but got through Fucsovics and Jordan Thompson in a 3-setter. So, Majchrzak and him have played twice before. Nakashima's won both times, but that was over 3 years ago, and that was on the clay. I would lean on Majchrzak in this match. Nakashima is 19-13 on the hard court this season. Majchrzak is 18-5. 8 less losses. 1 less win. 7%. 7% difference on the hard court win percentage. I call me crazy then, but I can see Majchrzak beating this guy, dude, on the hard court. I don't know why. I can just see him beating him on this court, bro. Nakashima's the favorite at minus 215. Majchrzak is the dog at plus 176, bro. I think Majchrzak is going to be able to win this match. I don't know why. I just think he's a better player. He lost to Sebastian Korda, Ray Sakamoto, Mackenzie McDonald, and Pablo Carreño Busta. That's 4 losses on the hard court since 2024. He's only had 4 losses. 5 including his retirement. Like, that's really fucking strong, bro. I don't care what you say. That's pretty strong. And then Nakashima's just been so hot and cold. If you wanted to go for the safest thing, I would go for the set for Majchrzak. Okay? 2-1 Majchrzak, though, is what I'm really feeling. That's what I'm really feeling, penicillin. Which is plus 500. So, if you're feeling that, I might sprinkle a little bit on it. Anyway, we'll move on. Happy to see the healthy Majchrzak back in the mix. Next, we have Arthur Cazaux going against Cameron Norrie. Where's the match at, though? All right. And this is going to be their first head-to-head. But we've seen Cazaux play decently well against lefties, right? He beat Jerry Shang in Beijing recently, but he lost to Musetti back in Hangzhou right before that. He was able to lose to Manarino on the grass as well. Guess we could just look it up. Right. All right. So, Cazaux' history with lefties is 5-3 this season. Cam Norrie is ranked 33. So this will have to be versus a top 50 player. He's 1-1 against top 50 players. Lost to Ben Shelton, or he beat Ben Shelton, I'm sorry, Paris Masters last year. And Musetti, he lost to. So, going 10-14 this season, Cam Norrie and Cazaux going 13-12. I feel like this is going to be one of those matches that ends up being long for some reason. I don't really know who's going to end up winning it. I think Cazaux wins because questionable form we've been seeing from Cam Norrie, I would say. Questionable to say the least. Even money. Wow. Cazaux is minus 116. Norrie is minus 106. Yeah. I would go for total games here. Alt it down. Don't go too crazy. 20.5 is minus 260. I would just pluck on that. Maybe covering a spread for Cazaux. The plus 3.5 is minus 320. If you think he'll win, that's a good thing to do. But yeah. Don't have too much for that one. Cazaux does play statistically better on the hard courts with a 68% win rate. But Cam Norrie does have a better seasonal record right now. Going 31-25, but his overall win percentage is actually .09 worse than Arthur Cazaux. So I would take Cazaux to cover the spread or it to go over X amount of games. I would take, let me see, maybe Cazaux to go over 12.5. I'm leaning more on Cazaux here, though. Just ever so slightly. But we'll move on. And apologies, I put these lineups together from what the lineup timing was supposed to be from what I saw last night. So if they're out of order, apologies. I'm sorry. You can still skip to the time slots though. So next match we have is Alex Zverev going against Valentin Royer. And boy, we've been seeing a lot of this guy's name. We might have to put him on the lookout list. He's been doing some good work out here. Since getting to Asia, he's lost only one match. And that was only by 2 games. And that was against Alex Bublik, who isn't even in this tournament at this point. I think he just lost to Vacherot, which I was like, we'll see what Bublik we get. Now we see. So we got Valentin Royer here, who has gone through qualies through Tito Groquet and Billy Harris and Mariano Navone in a 3-setter. Then we have Zverev, who lost in the quarterfinals against Medvedev, who ended up losing to Leonard Tien. Interesting stuff. Pretty sure, actually, Tien's played all the people that Zverev played. But I digress. Zverev losing to Medvedev the way he did was a bit funny. They do have an interesting history, the two of them. Medvedev seemingly has his number, so I guess that wasn't much of a surprise. But going into this one, Valentin Royer, big serve. He's been doing some surprising work, but he's able to get through Rublev. Rublev can have bad days, though, and this was definitely not one of his best days recently. Zverev, what do you want me to say about Zverev, man? He's minus 550 to win. I don't think it's that interesting to do that. I would take Royer to cover a spread. If anything, it's at plus 4.5. I actually really like that. I don't think he can get that destroyed. I think Royer has a good enough serve and a decent enough play style with ball baselining. And he's got a decent net play at times too. But Zverev is number 3 in the world still. So you're not going to act like he can't do all that shit too. Even though we don't get what we need from him all the time, we can't act like he can't do a lot of shit. Most shit that most people can't do. So, yeah, just putting some respect on Zverev's name, just because it has to be. Then we have 47-20 record for him this season with a 68% win rate, career-wise, across all services. And then he's got a 67.3% win rate on the hard court, going 23-8 this season. Then we have Royer, who is not too far behind him. He's got a 66.97% win rate on the hard court with a 16-7 record this season. He's 56-23. Mostly from clay playing. But he's got a better record than Zverev. But, this is interesting. It's crazy how people can just snap out of challenger level into the big boys leagues and just start playing like they've been here the whole time. That's what I'm seeing from Royer, at least in the past week in Asia. It's just been mad impressive seeing him play. So I think covering a spread is worth it here. Seeing Zverev lose to Medvedev doesn't really mean much because Medvedev usually beats him. So it's kind of like a one-off match. Doesn't really matter too much. But I don't know. He hasn't been playing too convincingly, has he? So I would think that he might give up a bit of a lead at some points, but I would think that the spread can get covered at least 4 games for Royer, if not 5. If not 5. But it's not worth it. So, excuse me. Next match we'll get into. I'm gonna start picking up the speed again. We have the Jong going against Mensik. Jesper de Jong going against Jakob Mensik. And as we know, de Jong is more of a clay player. Mensik is a hardcore player who did get a title in Miami earlier this year, but he retired in Beijing, going 1-4 to Minaur in the quarterfinals. So, don't know what was up with that. We haven't seen him since then. Then we have de Jong, who got through Yizhu in a crazy tiebreak. They played a great match, the two of them. But de Jong ended up on top, continuing to grow his win rate this season. Mensik, his health is kind of the concern for me here. I don't know what it was. Let's look into it real quick. Jakob Mensik, retired, injury, AI, left leg. So, a leg in tennis is pretty important. I wouldn't want to put too much sauce on Mensik today. He should be the winner, though. If he's fine, then he's fine. Then we can bet on him tomorrow. But we don't know here. De Jong and him have yet to play each other. This is going to be one of those matchups where I don't think that Mensik is actually prepared for this level this guy's playing. I think that he could maybe cover a spread here, or push Mensik to some games. Maybe Mensik might go over 12.5, or maybe we might just get Jesper over 11.5. I don't know, but I do like the idea of him covering a spread. Plus 4.5 seems really nice and generous as well. But I will stay away from this one because Mensik is not healthy fully, to my knowledge. So, don't really care to get into the stats, but I will. 7-6 in the hard court for de Jong, 23-11 for Mensik, 70% win rate for Mensik, 65 for de Jong. All right, next match we have is, I'm going to look forward to this one, Luciano Darderi and Bu Inchakete. This is going to be their second head-to-head. They did play earlier this year in Rome on the hard court, and it went to a tiebreak, which I could definitely see with the way these two play. And Darderi won. It's in China. The support in Shanghai for Bu was definitely up when he was going against Juan Manuel. So I don't know. It didn't seem like he was getting much love in Beijing. He was getting a little bit of love in Hangzhou, but I think he's getting the love in Shanghai. I think the love is in Shanghai. So Darderi losing in Tokyo to Brooksby. Brooksby in his chippy form was a little bit of okay. He's healthy. He was energized enough to whoop his ass in that second set. But that's what I saw coming. I don't know if Bu is going to be able to just get rid of Darderi. Darderi might just take this match. I know people are sick of hearing me say that, but I've been right with him recently. I've been more right with the guy than wrong. And he's an underdog today at plus 104. I kind of think he can win. kind of think he wins this match. He's 5-10 on the hard course this season. Boo is 10-15. I'd take those chances, bro. And then you look to see who he's played on the hard court, right? Like, Darderi has played against who? Jensen Brooksby, he lost to. Tabilo, who ended up losing that tournament. Ended up winning that entire tournament. Alcaraz. Khachanov and Winston-Salem. Yeah, you're not beating that guy. He's got to get some more reps in the hard court before he can beat people like that. But someone like Boo, I think he can get it done. Look at how close Juan Manuel Cerundolo got to beating this guy. That's literally all we need to see. Like, and we know the ball striking that we can get from Darderi is way stronger, bro. He be hitting. So at the very least, get him for a set. It's a great parlay piece. Darderi should definitely get it done for us. I'm looking forward to that match. All right, next match we have is Arthur Rinderknech going against Alex Michelsen. And this is going to be their third head-to-head, and boy, oh boy, Rinderknech is 2-0 in their head-to-head history. He did win his match going against Medvedev. It was a retirement, though, in the first round of Shanghai, so he ended up losing the first set and still taking the match. Lucky him. But that definitely puts Medvedev on the do not touch list, because how many retirements have we had from him? No, we haven't had any from him just yet, but he's someone that to be concerned about when he retires, because he did get injured for a minute. But then we have Michelsen, who's on a 4-match stinker. Hasn't won a match since second round in Cincinnati. That was August 9th. So it's been 2 months since he's gotten a win. I'm sure he's hungry for one. And if he loses to this guy becomes his papa. So I'm kind of thinking that Michelsen's going to be labeled as the favorite here. And he is. Because that's what the books would love to do. I wouldn't take Rinderknech for a set here. I wouldn't touch this match, honestly. I don't like touching Rinderknech matches. I don't know what it is. He always does like what's needed, honestly. But I just don't trust him. I don't trust this matchup either. For the third time around. On the first time on the hard court, I just don't like it. 14-12 for Michelsen, going with a 64% win rate. And then we have 9-14 for Rinderknech with a 58% win rate. So Michelsen should be winning on the hard court, as we know, but he has been able to do it on other surfaces before against Rinderknech. So fingers crossed for the boy. Hopefully our American gets it done. And we can move on to the next match, which is going to be Denis Shapovalov going against Christopher O'Connell. And their head-to-head history is 1-0 going to Denis's side. Going 6-2, 6-2 last year in Belgrade in an indoor hard court tournament and the quarterfinals. So far this season, we've been seeing a not so convincing Denis Shapovalov, but Chris O'Connell looking to see how he's been playing against lefties. He's lost to most lefties he's played against this year. So, money line on Shapovalov. He's minus 260 to win. He did beat Zumhor pretty convincingly, but he's not a lefty, so if you're looking for the stats, Denis is 13-10 this season, 59% win rate. Chris O'Connell is 19-14, 58% win rate, pretty close. But negative seasonal record with a 23-27 for O'Connell, 21-18 for Shapovalov. So with that just being said, I think the ball striking coming from Dennis is going to be A1 today. And he has that fucking backhand, that one-handed backhand. The lefty one-handed backhand. So rare. I can see that being a struggle for O'Connell. Anyway, we got a few more matches left and then we'll get out of here. We have Francisco Comesana going against Lorenzo Musetti. And boy, oh boy. They played last year in Wimbledon. Comesana was able to take a set off that boy. And now, Musetti can play on the hard courts, but I like Comesana better on the hard courts. I'm not going to lie to you. There's a 4% win rate difference. Musetti obviously being the one that's leading. He is currently ranked number 9. Comesana is currently ranked 62. Putting that in context because we've seen Musetti lose to ranked 112s. So far he retired against Leonard Tien in a very dishonorable way, in my opinion. He couldn't stomach losing to him, so he was like, I quit. I don't know. What was that, 5 days ago? Any physical injury, I would assume, takes a little bit longer than 5 days before starting to put more stress on that. So either you just quit because you didn't want to lose, or same with Medvedev. Medvedev had cramps though. I don't know if this guy had cramps. I think he was like, I'm done. Comesana going against Ugo Blanchet in the first round. Not dropping a set. Pretty convincing. I like it. I would like to think that Comesana can get us a set against Musetti. This will be the second time they play each other. Different surface, though. I still think he can produce a set. Am I fried for that? Let me know. Let me know. Do you think I'm fried for that? I'm looking for this match. I don't know if it's on the books yet. Maybe not. Oh, sorry. Found it. Musetti is the favorite at minus 330. Comesana to get you a set is even money. Damn near. Minus 118. The spread, 3.5. I'd alt it up to like 5.5. Oh, God, they shaft that bet. It used to be worth a beautiful price. Plus 5.5s used to be worth literally like minus 215. Now they're minus 370. What is this? Can't take it. You gotta either grab the match by the balls and say, hey, look, I'm taking the set. I'm taking Comesana for a set, or I'm not doing nothing. That's me personally. Because I'm not betting on Musetti anymore. And our next match is going to be Alejandro Davidovich Fokina going against Matteo Arnaldi. I got it that time. And this is going to be their fourth head-to-head. And crazy enough, Matteo Arnaldi is leading 2-1. Really, it's 1-1, though, because there was a retirement from Alejandro in Montreal last year in the third set, but it looks like he was losing. So, he did what Musetti did. Won the first set, dropped the second set, and then was starting to get bageled, and it was like, nah, I'm out of here. But the last time they played was in Delray Beach in a semifinal, and he won 6-4, 6-4. ADF did. So I like Foki. You guys know I like Foki. That's my guy. After watching him in the DC Open final, he disappointed me when he couldn't hold the lead he had to win the match. But I still love the guy. He plays really well. So it's been some time though since we've seen him in that form we love to have him in. It's like we got him on fire in DC, and then he kind of just stopped. Got him on fire in Acapulco, and he just stopped. Got him on actually Acapulco and Delray Beach, then he just stopped. Turns up in Monte Carlo, then he just stopped. So we don't know. It's been some time since he's turned back up. Maybe we get it again here in the Masters. Looks like he's had enough time to get some rest though, and that's been something that I've been most concerned about with him. Whenever you do watch him play a long match, he starts to lean on his racket, and looks like he's condition wise out of gas completely in certain moments. So I would like to think he can take this win. This is still kind of like the first round though, so just be careful. I'm saying that because Taylor Fritz is down 6-2 in the first set, and it's 3-3 in the second against Marijan. So you never know what could happen. Zizou Bergs took a set off of Casper Ruud, and now he might break him in the third set as well. So anything's going on in the Masters. Like I said, anything can happen. But Alejandro is who I would favor to win. It's who I would favor to win. All right, sorry about that. All right, our next match that we're going to be going into is going to be Halys going against Jiří Lehecka. And this is going to be their first time playing each other. So this should be interesting. We've been seeing recently from Jiří, he's a bit of a slow starter. He takes a second to get into the matches when he's going against someone that he's not really expecting to lose to. So when that happens, he drops a set, right? We've seen him do that all throughout the U.S. Open. Nah, he's been doing that on the hard courts. He's been doing that on the hard courts a bit. So I do think that there could be a set dropped at some point, or maybe the first set might go to Halys. Maybe. But Lehecka is going to win this match. It's a Masters, so he should be focused and ready to go. But he did drop a set and hit the last time he was in a Masters. So, to Tristan Boyer. So, if you can drop a set to someone ranked 124, you can definitely drop a set to somebody ranked 75 in the Masters, who on their best day was ranked 46. So, something to think about. Halys is 12-13 this season. He's got a pretty negative record, 18-25 across all surfaces. Lehecka is 22-9, going 36-18 this season. He's got damn near 9% advantage on the win rate. So, on the surface, definitely go for Lehecka. Maybe cover a spread if you feel confident about him winning outright. But I would go for the over for his games today. 12.5, I will go for the over for that. I would lean on that one. All right, and our next match that we have is going to be Nuno Borges going against Stefanos Tsitsipas. Is that who I'm reading right now? Is that the name I'm looking at? Yes. Stefanos is back. So this is going to be their third head-to-head between Borges and Tsitsipas. They've played twice before on the clay, earlier this year and 2 years ago. Monte Carlo and Rome, both straight set wins for Stefanos. We've been seeing him in a bit of a stinker. He did beat half of the Brazilian team. Took a set off Fonseca, but beat Thiago Seybold Wild in straights. Lost in a 5-setter against Daniel Altmaier, though, in the U.S. Open. Borges had a pretty close match in Tokyo with Taylor Fritz and beat Botic in straights. I'm kind of looking to think that he might cover a spread against Tsitsipas, if anything. He may cause a flat-out upset, if you feel me. I could just be talking about nothing. I could be talking about Nathan, but Borges is only plus 130 as a dog. I would think that he might be able to cover a spread, bro. I'm not going to touch this match, but it's 2-0. You're going to have to do something here, Mr. Borges. He's 15-13 so far this season with a 68% win rate on the hard courts. I think it's all from previous years of just like low-level ITF shits. I think he's... I don't know why I haven't looked at this before, but that is exactly what it is. Nuno is someone that has a record that's kind of like Bu Ichakete. It's like, if you're looking at the win rate, it doesn't really actually add up at an ATP level. You're like, this guy, it says he wins this much, but he wins that much at a way lower level. So, Borges isn't necessarily like A1, but neither is Stefanos recently. But I would lean more on Stefanos, at least to get a set. I would hope he can get a set, but I'm not going to touch this match. I'm not going to touch this match. And I don't even think Stefanos can get a set if he's still playing bad. So, all right, we got 2 more matches left. This one's going to be fucking movie. This is going to be a movie. We have Dalibor Svrcina going against Daniel Medvedev. And the last time they played was earlier this year in Toronto, right? We saw a tiebreak, and the next set ended 6-4. You know what I'm getting at. Tiebreak is an option for sure, but it looks like Svrcina was getting quite close to taking out Medvedev in Toronto. And he made it to a quarterfinal in Hangzhou. Lost in a challenger, but hasn't dropped a set so far since being in a Masters. Had about 3 days of rest. Then we have Medvedev, who's had about 3 days of rest as well. Retired against Tien in his last match, but was able to beat ADF, Cam Norrie, and Zverev in straights. And when I made the video for that Tien match, I was like, is it possible for Tien to beat this guy? He's beating people like this right now. That one Oprah gif. Anyway, Svrcina, I'm looking forward to this. If I can find the flipping match. There it is. They got Medvedev as a favorite at minus 480. I think if Leonard Tien can beat him, I think this Dalibor kid has the potential to take a set. It's plus 116. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's some smoke. Him to win is plus 360. I think we should take that for some sprinklage. I think I might throw some sprinkle on that. I don't know. We'll have to see. Being that close to beating Medvedev just 2 months ago lets me know that you're probably going to be, and you've only improved since then. Since he's lost to Medvedev, he's had 4 losses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, 5. I'm sorry. 5 losses. 2 months. Medvedev has had also 5 losses in the past 2 months. So, 6, I'm sorry. Anyway, I like Svrcina to get a set. The record that both of these guys have, 28-12, going against 16-11. 48-26. Going against 31-20. Medvedev is 31-20. 16-11 on the hard court. Am I fried for thinking Svrcina can beat this guy? He took the first set off Yibing Wu. Yibing Wu said, I'm done. Couldn't do much against Bublik, though. The antics of Bublik was a little bit too much for him. But he handled Berrettini. And I feel like Berrettini form and Medvedev form are like kindred spirits right now. So, I like the Svrcina for a set. That might be the smoke for today, honestly. And last but not least, we have... Actually, we have 2 more matches, right? Yeah, because there's 2 matches that I'm not going to cover. That's going to be the Altmaier match and the Altmaier center match and the Rublev Nishioka match. Those are actually covered in the previous video, so just go back and look at that if you need to. But our last match is going to be Karen Khachanov going against Jerry Shang. Let me make sure. Never mind. This is going to be their first head-to-head. Khachanov does have a bit of a weakness against lefties at times, but I have to look into it real quick. It's been some time since he's played against lefty. He only played Ben, and that was in the final back in, since Toronto? So, hard to say that he's bad against lefties just because he lost a final against one that was better ranked than him. He's 2-4 this season, though. Half of his losses have been from Ben. He beat Mannarino and Cam Norrie, though. Couldn't beat Ugo or Jack Draper, which, if you put Ugo, Jack, and Shelton, the people that have beaten him, in the same category, I would also put them in the category of people that move better, or just have a bit better movement than Mannarino and Norrie. But I could be wrong there. That's just my personal opinion. I could be like objectively wrong there. So Jerry Shang is 5-7. I don't know if it's gonna get any better than that this season. And he's looking good, but that win on Kovacevic that's a win on Kovacevic, bro. Like, I knew that Kovacevic is just he's in a worse stinker than Jerry Shang is. So I don't know how well Khachanov gets this done, but I'm sure he gets this done. I would love for the upset to occur, but I think Khachanov gets it done here. I would take him for a parlay piece. If anything, Jerry Shang to get a set is a parlay piece. I don't know if it's worth playing. I don't know if it's worth playing. So, with that being said, that is all of the matches for this evening and tomorrow. So let me know what you guys are playing. Let me see what you're looking forward to. I'm going to cut down the fat out of my picks and see which ones I'll be rocking with for tomorrow. I'm excited. Like I said, guys, my birthday is coming up on Sunday. So I probably won't be posting a video. I'll be going out of town. If I do, though, I'm going to need y'all to show me some love. If I've managed to produce a video on my birthday in my free time, y'all going to have to show me some love for that, because that's crazy. But I wouldn't do it for anyone else but you guys, honestly. You guys have been supporting me through a whole year, and I thank you guys. We're going to continue on, though. Love you all. Catch you in the next video. Be smooth, be nice, and bet wisely.